Within seconds, contact occurs at close range. A drone flies over a section of burned forest where the trees stand blackened and stripped of leaves. The ground below is dark and uneven, marked by fire damage and scattered debris. Near one of the trunks, an occupying soldier lies on the ground, partially sheltered by the tree. The drone approaches slowly, maintaining a steady line through the damaged branches. From above, the figure remains motionless near the base of the trunk. The drone continues its descent, closing the final distance through the open space between the burned trees. Within seconds, contact occurs at close range. A burst follows, and smoke spreads across the scorched forest floor. The area grows still as the drone camera holds briefly over the damaged landscape. A drone flies over a snow-covered field. Near a lone utility pole, an occupying soldier kneels on the ground. The drone aligns from above and begins a short descent. Within seconds, contact occurs. A drone watches movement among ruined houses in a destroyed village. An occupying soldier moves between broken walls, trying to stay within cover. The drone tracks the movement from above. Soon, the view switches to kamikaze drones approaching the same area. The first strike lands near a cellar, and several figures run out and scatter through the ruins. One drone descends toward a damaged house where they try to hide. The structure partly collapses after the impact. In the final moments, another drone reaches the same position, and the movement among the ruins fades. A drone patrols the edge of a forest where dense brush and small trees form a narrow belt of cover. An occupying soldier moves quickly between bushes, shifting direction several times as if searching for concealment. From above, the movement remains clearly visible. The drone follows from a steady height while the figure runs through the undergrowth. After a moment, the soldier slows and drops to his knees near a tree, partly hidden by the surrounding brush. The drone adjusts its line and begins a controlled descent through the open space between branches. Within seconds, contact occurs near the base of the tree. Smoke spreads briefly across the ground, and the movement in the brush stops as the drone camera holds on the quiet forest edge. From above, his path is clearly visible. Against the pale terrain. As the drone approaches, the soldier suddenly drops onto his back and raises his weapon, attempting to aim upward. For a brief moment, he tries to track the drone's movement, but the drone descends faster than he can react. Within seconds, contact occurs near the snowy ground. The brief motion in the open field ends as the camera holds above the quiet tree line. A drone approaches a heavily damaged industrial building. The structure is partly collapsed, with exposed beams, broken walls, and scattered debris across the interior. From above, the site appears abandoned, but the drone moves closer to investigate. The drone enters through a large opening and begins to search the interior. It moves slowly between ruined corridors and open spaces, scanning dark corners and piles of rubble. The inside shows signs of heavy destruction, as if the building had previously burned or been struck multiple times. After several passes through the interior, no clear movement appears inside the structure. The drone exits through another opening and returns to the outside air. Just beyond the building, an occupying soldier becomes visible, moving across the open ground. The drone quickly adjusts course and follows from behind. Within moments, it closes the distance and descends. Contact occurs near the edge of the ruined complex as the scene fades to stillness. This segment presents a continuous compilation of drone strikes against light vehicles across several frontline areas. The footage shifts between rural roads, open fields, forest belts, and damaged settlements. From above, small vehicles move along narrow tracks, attempting to travel quickly between positions. Some appear on dirt roads cutting through fields. Others move between ruined buildings or along the edge of tree lines. From the aerial view, their routes remain clearly visible against the terrain. Drones approach from different angles depending on the surroundings. In open ground, the descent is direct and rapid. In wooded areas, the approach requires careful maneuvering between branches and structures. Each sequence lasts only a few seconds before the camera moves to the next scene. Smoke rises from damaged vehicles while nearby roads fall quiet again. Across the compilation, the pattern repeats: patrol, detection, descent, and contact. Light vehicles that once moved supplies or personnel quickly become stationary across fields and roadways. The drone camera briefly observes the aftermath before shifting to the next location in the sequence. This extended segment presents a long sequence of drone footage recorded across different sectors of the front line in Ukraine. The images move between open fields, forest belts, damaged villages, trench networks, and rural roads. From the aerial perspective, the terrain shows the marks of prolonged war: shattered buildings, disturbed soil, and empty streets. Small groups and lone figures move cautiously across exposed ground. Some travel along narrow paths between fields, while others attempt to pass through tree lines or ruined structures. From above, their movement is visible against the contrasting terrain. Drones patrol the area continuously, watching from altitude before approaching closer. The aerial vantage point allows operators to track motion across large distances. When movement is confirmed, the drone adjusts course and begins its descent. Across the compilation, the pattern repeats in different environments. In winter scenes, snow-covered ground reveals every footprint and track. In muddy fields and ruined streets, movement becomes slower and more uncertain. The drone camera follows each moment from above, capturing the rhythm of activity on the ground. These recordings illustrate how drones have become a central element of modern warfare. Small aerial platforms now perform observation, targeting, and coordination tasks that once required larger and more complex systems. The battlefield increasingly unfolds under constant aerial surveillance. Beyond the immediate actions, the footage also reflects the broader reality of the war in Ukraine. Cities and villages have been transformed by months of fighting. Infrastructure, homes, and farmland show the scars of repeated battles. The drone's camera captures these landscapes in quiet detail between moments of action. For observers far from the front line, such recordings offer a rare aerial view of how the conflict continues day by day. Fields, roads, and settlements become part of a vast operational space shaped by technology and persistence. As the compilation continues, the scenes gradually slow. Smoke drifts across empty terrain, and movement fades from the frame. The drone remains above the landscape for a moment longer before the extended sequence concludes.
Subscribe to the channel and leave a like.